For this application, we're going to be doing a Tai Chi movement, but we're going to be putting it in a combat sports context. So this is a movement that we use called needle at sea bottom. And the way you usually see this is from a position where we're like in a cat stance, we have the hand up, and then we reach all the way down, and then we usually follow up with fan through the back. Now, to put this into sports fighting context, you have a chance to kind of work in and out with your opponent. So you don't, it's not just a self-defense situation where you're not sure if they have a weapon, if they're crazy or on drugs, and they're not going to feel it. Like, you don't have a chance to feel it out. You have to be more direct. But when we're sparring, we have a chance to control the guard. And that's really what we're focusing on here. So if I was to go traditional Tai Chi, I would be using this twisting and sinking to pull down this front hand. Okay, now it doesn't have to go this low. And usually what's going to happen is people are going to tense up and even fight back against it. So rather than going all the way down to the ground, it's probably just going to be end up going just this far. Okay, and that's what we're really working with. Now, to understand it best, to put it back into Tai Chi application, is I pull this hand down and he's going to try to raise up because he doesn't like his guard low. He's not sure if I'm going to try to attack over the top. So as he raises up and he pulls back, this is where we do our fan through the back technique. Okay. Now, ideally here would be that I could get underneath and make sure that he doesn't try to combat that again or try to push it out of the way since my hand is on top. But we're working with that feeling, right? His force against my force, so I go with it. Now, in a combat sports context, if we put this into sparring, I'm going to pull his guard, and I want you guys to have a couple of options, not just the fan through the back option, okay? But let's start with that so we can stay close to our Tai Chi. Again, if I pull his hand down, he's going to try to pull it back up, and that allows me to come in with this hand, okay? And in real time, it's going to be something more like this, okay? If he fights back, excellent. I go with it, and boom, right here. His mind is on this hand. Now, that's not always going to be the case. We have other openings. What I would suggest is pulling this hand and then attacking with the same hand. Now, it doesn't matter which foot you have forward. If we want to stick to the traditional form, it would be the opposite foot forward. But I find you get a little more reach if you have the same foot forward. So for matching sides here, it's a lot easier. Okay, I can still do the fan through the back style that if he fights back or he lays up here, then I can go in with my backhand and strike. I don't have to have that foot forward either. Now, again, either leg, we have an opportunity to kick too. Okay, so if I'm able to pull his hand down, great, I can land this strike. But if he pulls back up, then he's open down below. And this is where it's important to have, going back to that empty stance, right? My front foot is empty so that when he raises up here, it's very easy to raise up and kick. I don't have to do any weight shift for that. So whatever foot is in front, when you're doing this, if it's light, then it's easy to follow up. If it's heavy, I have equal distribution or I'm leaning forward. Once it comes up, then I have to shift to throw the kick. So you have to adapt to that timing. But again, this goes back to the simplicity of needle at sea bottom, pressing down, and then either attacking here, or when he fights back, fan through the back, or we could do a kick. So there you go, some combat Tai Chi for your application.